Well, hello, all my friends. Happy Wednesday. I'm Laurel Boylan. I'm your host of the Legacy Leaders Live show that we do most Wednesdays. The whole purpose of Legacy Leaders Live is to really bring you some amazing people to inspire you, educate you, show you the way. And it's all about stories of impact, purpose, and prosperity. And today I'm really excited for you to meet somebody that I met through the online circles, and yet I've also met her in person. And she is one of those people that once you meet her, you don't forget her. She talks straight to you and straight to your heart without mincing any words, but does it with such loving grace. She's a sales strategist and a very powerful entrepreneur in leading people through sales strategies, and she's a public speaker, and she promotes the heart not hustle theme. Hang on, I'm bringing on Natasha. There you go. Sorry, I can't do two things at once, Natasha. I can't want you to explain more about heart not hustle, because that is really what drives you. But yeah, before we get there, first of all, hi and welcome.
Hi, Laurel. Thank you for having me. Thank you for this sweet introduction, and just for having me in this space to get to hang out with your people in your community. So I'm excited.
Absolutely. And you are in North Carolina. I am in California, and it's through the blessing of technology that we are able to do this interview, right?
Yes, exactly.
Basis. Well, as you know, this show is about legacy, but it's not about working really hard while you're here and leaving a legacy behind, a big company or a lot of money for others. It's about living your legacy now while you're here and bringing other people with you while you're still alive. So what does legacy mean to you, Natasha? And how does that show up in your life now?
Legacy to me is purposeful impact. That's the only way that I can think of it, where whatever you're doing has a purpose, that it impacts other people, that it ripples, not just my family, but anybody that I would say come in contact with. It might be a small exchange, right? Or it might be a lasting impact. It might be through coaching. It might be through church or community or school. It doesn't matter. But to me, it is purposeful impact when I think of legacy.
I couldn't agree with you more, but one of the reasons I reached out and asked you to be on the show is because not only do you make an impact with your business, I know you have set some pretty solid and clear boundaries for yourself, your family. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, Laura, I come from corporate sales, 16 years, the sales side, the sales rep management side, and it's very much a hustle culture. A lot of different product launches and expectations and quotas. And I did that for 16 years. And then it's a whole nother God journey of how I got into sales coaching, consulting, and speaking. But to keep it brief, part of this movement or this changing really came about, and how I started to set boundaries and to live within my purpose and legacy was part of it was losing our full-term son back in 2013, and then quickly getting pregnant after that. And at that time, I was still in corporate. And once I think you go through something so tragic like that, it makes you rethink, what am I doing? Why am I doing? And who am I serving? And for me, I am naturally, my nature is a servant leader. My mom's the same way, just kind of the role my mom's been in her entire life as a nurse practitioner in the health industry. Myself, being in sales and more pharma, biomed sales, it was like leaving that hustle and then coming into something purposeful. I knew, honestly, in order for me to really be able to just keep getting up day after day and being here, is I needed to make an impact and a purpose, like knowing that what I'm doing goes beyond me. And it is something that like my heart like lights up about. And that those boundaries came from really evolving and understanding business and growing in my faith more than anything, because your flesh can act real foolish, as I like to say, where you get to chasing a lot of things, or you start succeeding and you start hitting these things, and you can sometimes kind of become untethered and you forget what's important. And so I think through maturing in my business and maturing spiritually, I've learned truly what is important. And I was saying this, we were talking a little bit in the background because we know each other, but it's like, you know, my ministry, my purpose, my impact is beyond just my business. But at first, it's in my home, right? And so, what is my impact and my legacy and my purposeful impact in my home, within my marriage, within my child? Because that's not something I have to do, I get to do it. And I really, really deeply mean that, because I have lost a full term son, and then having the opportunity to walk out this life as a mom, a wife, a business owner with my child, I have to set boundaries, because I am a person that I'm very driven. I don't need anybody to teach me work ethic. I need somebody probably more to tell me to slow down. Yeah, like I don't need anybody to tell me to go harder. So I've had to learn some real hard lessons sometimes in this process of boundaries, and really of like surrender, right? Like surrendering the things that I think I should be doing, or what society says I should be doing, at what rank and how much money I have. And it's like putting those things in place are necessary in order to steward my life well, and for the people that I impact, even in my business. That impacts the people that I touch, even in my business, when I steward and create boundaries for myself and my family well.
Mm. How do you go from somebody that's such a powerful businesswoman, successful, making a lot of money, to accepting the decision that you wanted to spend more time with your son and you were willing to give up money, titles, maybe even position or status in order to be a mom? That's really hard sometimes.
Oh, let me just tell you, it wasn't like it was my idea. This was really hard. Like, I think part of it is obviously, like I said, my faith and like being prayerful. You are sometimes going to be hit with things that you might not necessarily want to hear or want to do, but you have a choice. And if we're talking faith wise, like it's one thing to say, yes, I surrender. Okay, I hear you. But it's another thing to walk out things in obedience, right? And our fruit lies on the other side of obedience. So I would not even lie to anybody watching and being like, oh, it's in my nature to be like, yeah, I want to pull back and I don't want to succeed. No, it was like, hey, take heed, like pay attention and listen, because other things will crumble if you don't focus on this. And part of it too, Laura, was I was thinking that I could have, you know, the pickup, the drop off, taking care of my son, doing all the activities, all these things, and run this business that was growing and scaling, which meant it took more people, more investment, more things, and a higher level of touch point and leadership for me. And it was like, I think I was realizing like that doesn't really work unless I'm willing to like hire out help. And for me, that wasn't an option for me. It's not what I wanted. I don't judge anyone else or any other woman, because we all do it differently. And the way you do it, do you, boo? But the way I do it is the way I need to do me. And so I think it came at a warning, like take heed, pay attention. And then it was just me saying like, I don't want it in if it's going to be forced and if it's going to be stressful, because what good is all the money and the status and the title and all this stuff and speaking on stages and flying if at the end of the day, like I come home and I'm disconnected from my family, or my marriage is falling apart, or I'm not there for my son in the moments that he needs me most? None of that matter. Okay. None of this outside world stuff, to me personally, it does not matter. So I had to rest and trust that if I surrender this and I'm obedient, like my fruit lies on the other side, right? The fruit lies on the other side of obedience. And literally that's where those blessings did come. And it's like, oh, I can do this and remain healthy and whole and within boundaries and impactful and still have a business, but it's just going to look different. So was it easy? No. Was it my idea? No. But through prayer and faith, here we are.
And how old is your son?
He's 10. So
Getting a bit easier.
Listen, it is like full on all in season. It's the, middle school, and the hormones are changing and the prefrontal cortex is not there. So the impulsivity is there. I mean, seriously, sis. And
Yeah.
Like I'm a kid Uber. Like it's the play dates, it's sports, it
But you're
is
not getting tipped for it.
no. Excuse me, I love Jesus, but hello, no. I'm
Yeah,
not.
I know. Well, Natasha, you were in sales for many years and you were very good at sales. But
Mhm.
tell us a little bit about your current business and the heart not hustle philosophy, because I think
Yeah.
that's so important to who you are and why you do what you do.
Yeah. We don't have time to go into my journey and that's fine and people can find it elsewhere. But like when I made that transition out of corporate into this entrepreneurial space and y'all, that's been a journey within itself, right? Of coming into coaching and speaking and all of these iterations and seasons, coming back to my roots of sales coaching, when I thought about how I could impact and show up for people, because sales has a very negative connotation. Most people do not love the idea of sales. They have these great business ideas and they love the marketing and the branding and all these things that it creates or that you have to work on creating that makes it look beautiful, that presents it to the world. But when it comes to sales, people are like, if people think like icky, manipulative, pushy, they have all these different kind of thoughts around sales. And I was talking to my marketing director way back then, and we were reshaping the brand. And I said, it's like, I just want to help people learn how to sell with heart, not hustle. And it literally came out of my mouth. And she was like, that's it. And she said, well, expound on that. What does that mean? And for me, it means putting the heart of your business at the forefront and being okay with doing that, being vulnerable, being open, being honest to receive people and ultimately to serve them, right? So it's serving people with the heart of your business. Why are you here? Why are you doing it? What's the impact? What's your purpose? Putting that before people so that they know what they receive from you, the value they can obtain from you, how they're going to benefit when you put that on display, and putting the hustle at the back. Because the hustle, nobody cares about that. Nobody really cares about your thing, your widget, your product, your service. They can get it from anybody, but they really understand who are you? They want to know who are you? What's the value I receive from you? How am I going to benefit? And so the heart of your business, which is to serve people, which then reciprocates to them the value, the benefit, that's got to be at the forefront. And all the scarcity, you worrying about money, people saying yes to your business failing, can I do this? All of that stuff has to fade to the back. Because in the first place, number one, your business, whether it's a product or service, it ain't about you. Period. End of story. It is not about you. It is about who you serve. And so that's where that whole mentality, and it's not just, let me be clear, it's not just like the feel good, but as I'm talking about value, and then obviously there's so many things that go into it, value, the benefit, how the client benefits. That's the strategy where you start getting more, I would say, kind of concrete, tangible, is then building out the strategy and the process of how you do that in your own authentic style and way. Because no one needs to be a seller like Natasha or a seller like Laura. We're all different and we attract different people. So that's kind of all of it in a nutshell. So from the heart, not hustle side, and the strategy and the process side, how they balance.
I feel a lot of the ickiness, like you were describing, that people tend to associate with sales comes when they feel like they're trying to get a sale. They're trying to make a sale. They're trying to make a quota. They're trying to hit a goal. When it becomes heart is when you realize that what you're selling is a service, a solution to a
Yeah.
problem that this person has. I now
Yes.
have an obligation to share that, or
Yeah.
I'm not serving them. It's up
That.
to them whether or not they take it or not. But I don't feel icky anymore. I feel good because I am serving and
Yep.
I'm offering what I know is a good thing for them. It's a win-win.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to get anything. Now, I've
Yeah.
got a goal I'm trying to achieve, but that's on the back burner. That's not why I'm reaching out. And people can see right through that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. This world is so noisy, so busy, and everybody's out here selling something. It is. Like it just is the industry that we're in, and that's the I think the world that we're in. It's with social and stuff, it's so noisy. And I think now more than ever, I always say this is that we are dealing with very conscious buyers, right? People want to know, who are you? What's the integrity of your brand? What do you stand for? What do you believe in? Like people are all up in your business nowadays. And so people want to know, what am I engaging with? Who am I engaging with? And how do you really genuinely show up? And you're exactly right, is that it's that mindset switch of understanding, like I said, at the basis of it, it's not about you, it's about them, right? But we get so caught up worried about ourselves and what people think of us, and are we good enough? Do they believe me? Is it the right price point? All these things that really are not actually the things that matter. And it throws people off. It diverts them from their mission, and it really keeps them from serving people and bringing their solution to other people's problems, like you said.
Wow. So where do you see yourself going in your business over the next 20 years as your son
Yeah.
emerges himself into the world? Do you have any hopes or dreams or visions bigger than what you're doing now?
Oh, that is such a good question. Someone asked me this. I was on a podcast recording, and actually I was in. This happened twice, so it's funny that this is the third time this is coming up for me to like process and think about it. One, I was in person with a client in Tennessee. One, that question came up. Two, here, and then somewhere else on podcast. So honestly, what my question to that is like, I'm 10 toes down, feet in the dirt, all the way with where I am right now. I don't know. I'm like, I don't know where God's going to send me, how it's going to be evolved, how it's going to evolve. But if I could say right now, I hope it's exactly where I am right now doing what I'm doing. Like, I am happy with where things are and the flow of my business. I am good. I'm like, I don't need to go create something new, do this. Like, no, I'm good. I'm good right here. And having that longevity and the stability in it and being able to show up for people. And I mean, I don't know, maybe as my child launches into the world, maybe we'll be living in another country, and maybe that, right? Just doing it from another place or moving around because we'll be like able to be mobile. I could see that. But like, I genuinely love what I do. Like, whether it's the consulting side and I'm delivering for someone else's content, or it's the one-on-one side or the speaking, like, I genuinely love what I do. And I'm like, I don't really see it any other way. I don't want to build something. I don't want to, I'm good. I'm good being right here.
You know, I love that because you just described being congruent or feeling good in your gut, feeling like you're in the right spot. You know how sometimes your business is going really well, but maybe you have some health challenges, or your family is doing really well, but you're really struggling financially. There's always things in life that are off balance, but you just described almost like an utopian type of feeling of being good. I'm good at work. I'm good in my family. I'm good with finances. I'm good with whatever. And you also described faith and how you being good, you trust that as you move forward in life, God's going to help you serve those that you need to serve. And you don't know yet right now. That's actually, without even talking about this ahead of time, exactly where I was hoping you would go with this, because so many of us women feel like we have to have all the answers. We have to have a plan. We have to know where we're going here, now, this. We have to, bump up our income from where we did it last time. It's the hustle.
The chase.
It's ingrained in our online women entrepreneurship community.
It's everywhere.
And it's not always for everybody. It's okay sometimes to not be like that, to feel safe, secure, rooted, to have a really successful business, to be earning the income you need, to have a husband who also is earning income, that you're okay making your family priority first over the business, and knowing that down the road, everything you're doing is going to be led to exactly where you're meant to be. You're always going to be serving till the day you die. And so am I. I know that.
Yes.
I just know exactly in what capacity, and neither do you yet.
Yes. It's the word that came to me when you were talking was rooted. I just feel rooted. I mean, like, when you look at your background and that, like, I'm planted, I'm rooted, I'm good. Like, I'm good. I don't need to chase another thing. I don't need to, and listen, I don't have the energy. I don't want to, like, no. And I have some people around me. I have really, really great trusted peers and friends who are in the industry and who've been in the corporate side. They've also been in the entrepreneurial side, very well respected. And some of them are doing some amazing things and doing different things and evolving. And it's like, sometimes they'll be like, oh, you should
go you.
I'm like, you go. And they're like, oh, you should do this. And I'm like, and in the past, I'd be like, oh, maybe I should. Let me research that. I'm like, no, I'm good.
Yeah.
Or one of my friends, like, she's phenomenal at marketing, super brilliant woman. And she was like, you really need it. And I'm like, no, I'm not doing it. I refuse. I was like, literally the thought of it makes me like, no, that's a no for me. Like my spirit says no, it's a no.
Mhm. Well, you're confident in who you are and what your purpose is. And right now you feel aligned with your purpose with your family, your purpose with your business, your purpose with your clients. And
Yes.
I think that's so valuable to feel that alignment and just bask in that. And when something feels unaligned, be very quick to get silent and figure out what you need to do to get back in alignment, right?
Yeah. You hit something so key is when something feels out of alignment, be quick
Because
to
it
get
will.
quiet.
Mhm.
Quick to get quiet.
Mhm.
That right there, whoo, powerful,
Mhm.
because you're usually quick to go running, quick to go searching, quick to get a solution, quick to go hear from this person, quick to get advice, quick for somebody to coach us. Like just be quiet for a little bit. Be quiet and be prayerful. For me, it's be prayerful. I don't judge anybody else. You do you, but for me, I need to be quiet and be prayerful because I can quickly run, either create a solution, create a thing. And I've learned like, no, that's usually not always the answer. Is how about sit down a little bit, be quiet and pray, and then wait and see what God says. Might be better off that way.
Well, I couldn't agree with you more. I am very much like that. Natasha, if somebody wants to work with you as we wrap this up, you've already said you're a consultant. You do things for people, with people, one-on-one with people. You train people, you speak to people. Uh, where can people go to learn more about you, what you do, and possibly working with you?
Yeah, I would say the easiest route is Natasha Hemingway with 2Ms.com. That'll lead you any route you want to go. And I'm on social. I'm the exact same handle, Natasha Hemingway, LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok. It's all the same. All the same.
It's not heart, not hustle.
Nope, it's not.
Natasha Hemingway. Got it. Well,
There's legacy in that name. There's legacy in that name.
oh, I hear you.
Mhm.
I think I told you when I first met you, I used to be Fleming with two M's, and that's how I introduced myself for, 30 years. Laurel Fleming with two M's.
No, because people will mess it up like all the time. Some people are like, what? And I'm like, 2 M's, two
Yeah,
M's.
two M's, yes. I'm now Boylan without a D because people want to do Boyland. So now it's
That's
Boylan
so
without a D.
true. That's true. Listen,
So, anyways,
listen, like I said, there's legacy in the name. Don't mess it up.
absolutely. Well, thank you so much. I keep being you, keep inspiring. I love the little videos and shorts that you do on LinkedIn. I always learn from them. You just really are amazing. And I just want to say thank you and encourage anybody who's been inspired by Natasha. She's got an amazing personality. She's so fun to work with. Um, go check her out. Reach out, right?
Thanks so much, Laurel. Thanks for having me.
Everybody have a really great rest of the week.